When you think about how the earth would be so much better off without us, you start to consider the possibility that we are the aliens. Maybe that is why the billionaires are planning to return to their home planets as soon as they have taken all they can. Maybe that is why we cannot seem to recognize or understand the brilliance of plants and other species. But the indigenous people did not harm the earth. Maybe they are the only ones who should be here. But we were all once indigenous, even if we are not where we started out. Maybe that is why non-native plants and animals always end up destroying ecosystems. Maybe we should figure out where we come from, which tribe we belong to, so we can assimilate the ways of ancestors who knew how to live in communion with each other and the earth. Thanks.
He was restive in a kind of marijuana way and needed lots of therapy to pull back from the brink. Not that he didn't go there often, but as Elon Musk's therapist, I preferred him kind of sleepy. He was Elon Musk and he needed lots of help. I saw him 7 days a week. He'd say, "I want to have sex on the moon." And I'd ask, "Do you want to talk about that?" The way Richard Dreyfuss would talk to Bill Murray in that movie, What About Bob? And when he said he wanted to be the first to do it on our nearest celestial neighbor, I pressed, "Well, how are you going to get there, Elon?" He bragged, "I've already been in space." You may recall my recent blast off. "Oh, yes, I remember. But he hadn't even orbited the Earth. I want to have sex up there in a Tesla." Gotcha. I indulged him, but gently chided, "You ever think of the homeless? I mean, you could have saved every lost soul in San Francisco with the money you blew into space adventure." At this, he seemed to bristle, but his indignance was brief. "Okay, Doc, you have a point, but aren't you just supposed to listen?" "Do you want to talk about just listen?" he said. And so it went, one endless hour after another. For my part, the sessions were proving lucrative. Since no one else would take him as a patient, I was able to really clean up. However, as you will see, I have my limits. One day after we'd been over his childhood for the 100th time, he suddenly said, "Drive me to Oregon." "Well, what do you mean, drive you to Oregon?" "Yeah, like I want to see my grow house up there." Well, that's not exactly part of the therapy deal, me playing chauffeur, but he was adamant. "I want to see the whole operation, where my weeds grow, and just how and what's involved, how many armed guards there are, the whole thing. We can have an extra intensive session on the way up the coast." "Well, okay, this once, and no Tesla. We'll take my Kia. I don't trust that car of yours. It might decide to drive us into the ocean or something. Come on, there are only a few fatalities. My Kia or no deal." Elon pouted but caved on the transportation. We set out and he babbled and babbled because it was a 6-hour trip and I felt stressed. At one point he said, "Oh, wow, look at the redwoods, man. They're really red, aren't they? But in a weird kind of way because they're not like really red, but I don't know. You could call them off red maybe. I don't know. But actually red was the color of my tricycle and the redwoods seem to have brownish aspects too and stuff. Gosh, they're really high, aren't they?" I was going to ask him, "You want to talk about that?" But he already was talking about it way too much. When we visited the grow house, the Mexicans were on their best behavior, the boss being there and all. They deferred, and they looked at the ground, and they fell all over themselves. He savored the aroma of the pot and asked all kinds of questions. He smoked too much of it, the extremely powerful substance that once landed Robert Mitchum in jail. He gave all the cartel guys a substantial raise on the spot, and we got back on the highway. Not much longer. It won't take too long. I pulled off at a viewpoint for fresh air. Elon sprawled oblivious. A local Oregonian had spotted my California license plate, and he was looking for trouble. "You lost or something?" And I said, "Or something," with a little bit of an attitude of my own. Hold it, sorry. I should be memorizing like I used to, right? Okay.
He did memorize.
Okay, it's almost over though, all right. "Or something." There had been something in my tone. I was tired. I was tired of Elon. I was tired of dope and dopey people. And in no time at all, we were fighting. Go home, he kept saying until I knocked him out. Elon had been no help at all. It barely stirred from his marijuana crash. Dude, he finally said, and I unloaded. Hey, while you were out there past Pluto, I had to deal with a maniac who had issues with anyone from the state to his south. But Elon, with a certain mischievous grin, only asked, do you want to talk about that?
Water protectors of the world, Minnie Wachone. So these are songs. Our tribe lost over 90% of our people just 100 years ago. And I'm learning some mourning or grieving songs. After we lost these people, our people, then most of our children were taken to the boarding schools where our children had the highest death rate and missing and murdered death rate. So I'm going to sing a couple of songs that are grieving, mourning songs. Yanahe yongo, yanahe ya, yanahe yongo, ohine ya. Yanahe yongo, yanahe ya, yanahe yo. Ong hai yanahe ya, yanahe yo. Ong hai yanahe yongo, ohine ya. Da Fort Silita da banga chnai tashku janishku jon no hi ne ya. Da aduna gujoni da benoshni u anira. Chnaguye, ong hai anahe yongo ohine ya. Yes. Hey ya, hene ya, hey ya, hene ya nahe ne ya. Hey ya, hene ya, hey ya. Hene ya na hene ya du haya nandeya ne tashia hey yo hene ya na hene ya hey yo hene ya na hene ya haya nandeya ne tashia hey yo hene ya na hene ya hey ya hey ya hey ya hey ya hey ya. Indigenous people, support the water protectors. A lot of them have really, really high legal fees for taking care of us everywhere. Thank you, thank you.
I remember the day that I started to play in the game of life called Power. I see in my mind the place and the time. I even remember the hour. It was Saturday night and the moon was bright. In the game, they were stalking their prey. In the neon light, the cold was blind, and the weak, they was doomed to pay. And you can forget that quote that the Christians wrote about honesty and fair play, because you can't live on the streets without knowing how to cheat, because the game just don't play that way. So I'm sitting with my partners digging the sounds. I hear my first name called, so I turned around. She had eyes like diamonds. They was big, bright, and bold, and her smooth, soft skin was the color of gold. meaning no disrespect, but a true Harlem player got a reputation to protect. So I smoothed my way through the crowd and walked up on her and looked into her eyes, and deep, dark, liquid pools of loveliness enchanted me. I took her by the hand, I led her to the dance floor, and just as we got to the dance floor, the DJ played, "Bet you by golly, wow, you're the one that I've been waiting for forever." So now I got up on the dance floor and stuff, you know, we dancing, we all uptight and stuff like that, and I'm feeling her fingers touching me, mesmerizing my body, moving all over me. And for some reason, right about then, I thought about Father Murnian and the dances that we used to have at the Catholic Church. And Father Murnian used to always come by and he'd say, "Make room for the Holy Ghost. Make room for the Holy Ghost." Well, there was no room for the Holy Ghost because we was finna do it on the dance floor. I said, "Let's get out of here." So we went to her place, you know, we got to her place and it was like she turned out the lights, lit a candle. And I was like, if I'm dreaming, just let me sleep. Don't wake me up till my dream is complete. You know, so we got off in there, we made love. We made love, 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 love. And we got through making love, warm kisses, tender caresses. We made love some more. You know, so I had a really good night, and I was just feeling it and whatnot, you know. So I left, and I couldn't wait to get to my partners the next day because, you know, everybody saw who I left with, you know. So I wanted to come out. I was like, "Yeah, y'all saw me with baby, right?" You know, and when I got up to them, see, I had been away to college and I didn't know what was going on, and they said, "Man, you don't know about her." And then they start saying all these mean, nasty things about her, you know? And I had a date with her in about an hour, you know? So I went to the date and I saw her, and as I approached her, I said to her, "My friends feel it's their appointed duty. They keep trying to tell me all you want to do is use me. But my answer to all that use me stuff, just keep on using me. Hey, hey, come on, baby, come on until you use me up." Thank you.
911, we have been bombed. It has come to pass. Oops, upside the head. But wait a minute now. This is what we do. We bomb buildings. We kill people. We kill citizens. Oops, I'm sorry. It's collateral damage. Now we know how it feels, Lordy have mercy, to have collateral damage. Those buildings have crumbled to the ground, 110 floors each and then some, with people from New York, with "we like to party" New York people, falling, dreams crushed, making that last phone call. That's not a picture of a burning building in Iraq or Palestine. That's down the block, near Century 21, where I go shopping sometimes. Some of us want to retaliate. What are we gonna do? What can anyone do to top this? Go to war? That's government-sanctioned terrorism, in case you didn't know. This was precision surgery, an operation to knock out the economic lifeline and military intelligence at the same time. You know that pilot that was headed to the White House found out in mid-flight that Bush was in Florida? That state saved his ass again. We are the good guys. We have been trumped. Our ass has been kicked like a virgin fucked up for the very first time. Virgin Mary, pathological liar, and defender of the free world. Somebody was asleep at the wheel. Somebody said we might want to look at the message. I think they're trying to tell us something. Apparently, somebody is not pleased with our foreign policy or foreign policing and this global racial profiling. They're not having it. Somebody said we need to start leaving those people alone. Maybe stop bombing their ass. Maybe stop giving their land away, for starters. Somebody took those men with their funny head wraps and funny looking outfits who pray 5 or 10 times a day to the east, my brother, to the east, my sister. Somebody took them for granted. They call them sand niggers, you know. Didn't think that when we sent them to our own military schools, that little Muhammad and Hassan would try to outdo the teacher. Junior learned his lessons well. Did you see how surprised the newscasters were? Some of those hijackers knew how to fly a plane. Those men with their funny head wraps and funny-looking outfits are light years ahead of our super pseudo-intelligent, three-piece suit-wearing government heads of state. And they are really, really mad at us, at all of us. Holy shit. Somebody call 911. That's it.
Oh, where's my little hen? Oh, where's my little hen? Morn roundabout dawn, rend a dream. Beak shy of one kiss, nestle lip to wake me. Sky torn, let a feather drop in for sunflower seeds and tea. Repose, look up, stare down God. Repose, look up, stare down God. Keen dinosaur flight land on knee and tiptoe like trapes with a will toward belly. Pond, cinch in the kitchen neat sink. How splendid a bird bath be. If when did I live too long? If when did I live too long? Less ashes, what found box of loss? Hewn tomb of this heart so unsound, no entry. I'm air, still who listen for wing, here grief were a reverie. Thanks.